Yes, so yeah, all of your definitions are like really good. I can say that we have completed some of the important points of health and safety policy. So it is correct that health and safety policy is some of you have covered from the employer's side, where the employer have to put the signature. Employers, the top level management will make a commitment, and some of you have covered it from the employee's side that we are providing this thing, the policy, we're communicating it, and we are also making sure that the workers are safe, the workplace is safe for the workers. Right. So from both the parts, we have covered some points. Okay. Now we have employer. Okay. It is important to understand the relationship between employer and the employees. And as you know that it is the responsibility of the employer to provide safe and healthy workplace for the workers. So we have discussed about the PEST, best. Okay. So in the best, we discussed about best. Now what happens is the employer. Who is the employer? Can you define who is employer? Who will be the employer? Because in Factories Act, top level on the boss.
Principal client, I think principal client and immediate client who has called employer. Given sir.
Okay, please. I think, in my opinion, sir, an employer is a person who hires the workers and pays for their work and legally responsible for identifying hazards and providing safe workplace as per the ILO and ISO as we have already discussed. Okay. Okay, Mr. Dhananjay wanted to say something, I think, yes.
I mean, 50-50 answer. Employee is a person who is appointed by board of director to ensure to take care of all legal related requirement at a front level.
Yes.
Yes, and that employer and that employer will ensure that the policy how we are maintaining the policy, that the commitment is done by the MD at the site, means the entire process from medical induction training, what we are maintaining at the site for the safe to provide the safe work environment.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, even Mr. Dhananjay added this point that we, also someone messaged in the chat box that it is the employer who's going to take the legal responsibility of the things, like of anything which happens at the workplace, according to the legal requirement which is there on the employer. So if we talk about an act, okay, if we talk about a law which is applicable on this industry, of that industry, we can say that, if we take an example of Factories Act, they have mentioned a specific term for the employer, which is occupier. So the person who occupies the workplace or that particular site where the factory or the manufacturing factory facility. So the person who occupies this manufacturing facility, okay, and he has hired people who are working for him, okay, on his site, in the facility where the workers are working, and they're getting exposed to the workplace equipment and machineries and the workplace condition, workplace environment. They're getting exposed to all these things. So he's responsible for this because this employer has hired these workers under him to work in his manufacturing facility, okay, for him. So it is the employer's responsibility legally. Okay, it is the employer's or the occupier's responsibility, legal responsibility, to make sure that the workers are safe. And that is why in Occupier, in Factories Act, under the Employer's Responsibility section, I think it is section 7. So under that, they have mentioned that the responsibility, occupier's responsibility, within the occupier's responsibility, they have mentioned 7.2 or something, where they have mentioned that there must be a policy. There must be a written policy, which will be a commitment by the organization. So how they are going to make sure that the workers are safe? It will be according. It will be in the policy, in the health and safety policy of the organization. Right? So employer, yes, there is a lot of legal responsibility of the on the employer to make sure that the workers are safe at the workplace while they're working. Okay. So the employer, it is the employer's responsibility that if there is a machine which can cause harm to the workers, the employer must take reasonable action or reasonably practicable methods or something which will reduce the level of risk and which will make sure that the workers will be safe while working with that equipment. Okay, so whenever there is an equipment which poses a risk, you will not expose the employees directly. You will make sure that the employees are safe while they are working with the machine, while they are interacting with the machine and interacting with the workplace environment. So it is legal responsibilities which is mentioned, which is on the employer, and that is why they must have a signed policy. Employer signs on the policy. Okay, the employer, the occupier, he signs on the policy. Okay, that this is our commitment. Now, employer is someone who will be one of the person from the top level management. Okay. Now, if we talk about the formal definition of employer, okay, who is the employer or who is the occupier? Occupier is very simple. The person who occupies that facility, who has the overall control, who has the total control and total power over the facility, manufacturing facility. That person is occupier. That person will also be considered as the employer in this case. Occupier means it has been used, right? They have used a different term in the Factories Act. But if you take a look at the other acts, or as a generally we can say that employer is, if it is a government organization, then the employer will be assigned by the government, appointed by the government. A person who is appointed by the government. Let's say there is a railways department. Okay, so in railways we don't have a employer from the private organization. It's not like a private organization. The government is going to select the person who will be the head of that, we can say the employer of that particular organization. Okay, because the government cannot be the employer of all the government organizations. Okay, right? So there will be like someone who will be the employer in the government organization and in private organization. It will be someone from the top level management. It will be someone from the top level management like CEO or MD. Okay, that person will be the employer of this organization. Will be considered as
Okay.
so we'll write the example.
Question, please.
Yes.
Suppose if we talk about a company or organization, if there happens any non-compliance of the ILO 055 and the shipping laws, who will be responsible for that? The CEO of the company or the organization itself? Organization.
You're talking about ILO.
Yes.
Like चलता
Who will be responsible? The organization or the CEO?
The top level management will be responsible for this thing. The person who have signed on the this thing, the document. Okay, and he
ये
is
हमन के
having
आवाज
his
ना ना जाए
the
ना
entire team, which is
बोलते
there
हैं तो ना
together
जाए
with the
आउट नहीं
organization.
देखिए
गए
लगे
But it's not like
मुझे तो
it's not like
बोलते हैं
only the
आउट नहीं किया
employer
वो
will be
बहुत पता
responsible
हुई
for everything. Yes, he is responsible. Ultimate responsibility is on the
हेलो
employee. Okay, but as we discussed in the continental
देखिए मैं
non-supervised
देखना गाँव गाँव
learning,
सुनाई तो बड़ी
the
से क्या
ultimate
करूँ पता
responsibility
चला
lies on the employer.
यहाँ देखा थोड़ा ना हुई
But the responsibility has
मैं
also
देखा रहा
been.
ये बस
Now we
चलता
can
है
say, okay, there is a difference between accountability and responsibility. Okay, so the employer is someone who is accountable for everything. And the people who are under the employers, they are responsible for everything. The employer, yes,
We can share our responsibility. We cannot escape from the accountability.
yes, we cannot transfer
कुछ
accountability
काम है तारीख
which
है
is
क्या
responsibility
कहते
of the
हैं
employees. The employer will be held accountable for that. And if someone within the
लाइन बनी
organization has done something wrong
लाइव कर
purpose,
दो
which was not under the employee's
है
thing,
कुछ
but the employer has taken all the control measures.
पता
Employer
नहीं
from
कितना
his side, the employer has considered all the practical,
Bella.
हैं
practicable
वो देखा इनका
to make sure that the employee is safe and everything is safe according to the
मैं
policy.
सीजन आई लगा तो मैं अपडेट खेले नहीं तो खेलते
Okay,
नहीं
employer has done
अपडेट
everything, but there is someone in the organization within the
देखने
organization, they have failed to do their work and deliver their responsibilities according to the policy. Okay, so they will also be held accountable at certain level.
सिस्टम
They
को
will
लागे
also be held
चाहिए
accountable. Okay, because if they are making a mistake, even after employer has done everything, but if employer has not done the things which must be done by the employer, if there is an employer's failure, he accountable for that. Now, what is the responsibility of the employer? What is the accountability of the employer here? Is that most of the companies they will write it down that the responsibility of the employer is to ensure that the policy is being communicated. People know about their roles and responsibilities. People know about the policy. People know about their responsibility to wear the state PPEs, proper provision of trainings and all. So whenever there is an accident or
जिसे
something,
देखा तो नहीं
the legal
एक लिमिट
authorities they
में
ask
सीट
for the
कंटिन्यू
training
देख
records.
रहा था जो नहीं देता ना वो मैं
So
इतनी
what
थे
is the communication?
लेकिन स्पीड
Have
में
you
तो
done
चले
the
तरह
communication
से
clearly?
माइंड
Has
को
the
माउंट
employer
को नहीं
made sure?
सुना
Did the employer made sure that there is
बहुत
good
चीज बात
communication
है
between
तो
the workers and
कंटिन्यू देगा सारा
the workers have been informed about the workplace issues, the hazards and all. Okay. Is there any negligence by them? So the employer is going to take the reports. Right? Employer is going to take the reports from their juniors, from the managers, from the departmental heads. They are going to have meetings frequently. The employer is going to ask for the reports from the juniors, from the managers. So in companies where employers are really serious about their responsibility, they ask for each and everything which has happened in the organization. The near misses, the observations and all these things, they ask for the report. Okay, what you have done for this near miss, what you have done for this observation, unsafe acts and unsafe conditions. How long did it take you to control this unsafe acts, unsafe conditions? Why did it took so long? So everything is asked by the employer. So if the employer is very serious, employer is doing time to time, he's taking the reporting.
हम भी शेयर कर सके नहीं ना
Obviously,
अपनी चैनलों के लिए जो तभी चैनलों से शेयर कर सके नहीं
agency from their side.
ये फालतू के चैनल हो गए कोई मतलब ना रहे सर हाँ बस एक टेस्ट खातिर काम होला उसको टेस्ट करेंगे तो कोई टेस्ट होगा
चैनल से कर सकते बैटिंग इंडिया जैसे बड़ी काम करेगा हर चीज ही में लफड़ा करता है सभी लोग साथ में फ्री में तो कुछ नहीं फंसा देती बिना पैसा लगाने का कुछ नहीं है और इंटरनेशनल में कोनो फ्री में जब लोग आदमी रैंडमली आदमी के कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाता है वो कुछ नहीं फंसा देती हर गन के स्किन बा हर बहुत चीज बाटे में तो फ्री में जो बैटल ग्राउंड जो इंडियन बाटे कुछ ना देना सर जो इंटरनेशनल पूरा सुपर गन के स्किन बाटे वही सब फुल उतर में तो पता काम फुल नहीं
but it was not issued. But they had started to work in between the lunch time because work is very small as per their consideration. And during that activity, without permits, they started to work and casualties happened. 3 personnel died because of their mistake. The reason for this, company occupied health and safety manager and in particular area department. They are 2 days, 3 days they are behind the bar. Later on, everything was detailed investigation was carried out and they are released. I mean to say, if something went wrong, if it is serious, then occupy VHS said they are the 4% severe more impact of that incident actually. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. No, as I told you that employer is there, but if there is some negligency from the employer side, employer will be held accountable for this. But if there is some negligency from at a ground level, at the workplace level, which is like which might not be in control within the control of the employer or something, or everything the employer has done everything from their side, so according to the code, like the judgment of the court and all, according to that.
पता ना कहाँ ब्रेक टाइप की
You
करता
know,
है
this
कुछ तो बचा
judgment
है
that yes, this person, these are the people who have negligence or done violence or violations of the rules and regulations. Okay, so that is why they are responsible for health and safety. Okay, the accountability
जितना
is
सब दिखाओ
with the employer. He must be serious about it.
तुम देख लो
If
लेकिन हाई
he
स्कूल
has,
में खाली रहना
if he has provided
वो
the workers
अच्छा
workplace, if he has,
तो जो देखी वो
you know,
खाली दिखेगा
made sure that the
अजीब
management is
लगेगा
properly
तो
done
कौन
at
सकता है
the
ऐसा
workplace
क्यों
and
करें करते
providing
हैं आप तो
everything
चेंज
and
करके
everything
करिए
is done from the employer side.
और
Obviously,
मैं
when
जब
the
थोड़ा सा क्यों
someone
नहीं
does anything,
जूम
it's
करें
like
ना
very simple example of
कोई
this
हो
is
जाए
like
तो
if the
जूम
employer,
करेंगे
according
वही
to the
तो पूरा
complex
ना
area,
दिखाते कुछ कर जाए
if the employer has
जो
अब
मैं
given all the
भाई को
PPs to the
थोड़ा
workers,
कम तो करेगा
okay,
थोड़ा सा चले जाएगा
but if the workers are not wearing the PPs properly, if the workers have done violation after
नहीं
not
कैसे
giving
नहीं
them the
होगा
PPs, they kept the PPs in the store and they were working without the PPs. Okay. And accident happens, something goes wrong. So if they have given all the trainings, if they have provided all the PPs and all these things, then the workers they will not get the employer will not be responsible for providing compensation in this case. If the workers enters the workplace, if they started working under the influence of alcohol or drugs or something, if they fall due to this, the employer is not responsible for this. But it is the responsibility of the employer also to provide the security to the for the checkings and all. It's not like you can allow anyone to enter inside the workplace with alcohol or drugs or
अब फुल स्क्रीन हो गई
so if the employer
फुल
has
स्क्रीन
made
हो गई
sure
लेकिन
that
तब फुल ना
they are
दिखाए
not
तो क्या
allowing
करते
anyone
हैं
at the workplace with alcohol or with drugs or something like that, they are taking strict action, they have strict policy. Okay, they have provided security and all, they have provided checkings at the gate. And they have made sure from their side they have given the provision. They have provided all these things. But if still the workers is doing all these things, if then still they have done this, then it will be the workers will be responsible or the person who have done this will be responsible for the mistake. Okay, so yeah, so it's employer and employee. So employer's responsibility is to provide that the employees are safe. Okay, and someone employer will be someone from the top level management, MD, CEO, and employees are the workers, the employees who are working at the ground level. So it is the responsibility of the employer to provide safe, best PEST for the employees. Okay, to provide all the provisions, all to make sure that the workplace is safe, the equipments are safe. Okay, to provide SSOW, how they are going to perform the work activities in a safe manner. To provide trainings to them to make sure that they have the knowledge of on how to protect themselves, what are the hazards which is there in the work activities and all. So basically, when we talk about health and safety policy, yes, it is a formal written commitment by the top level issue your mind is on. So top level management, yeah, top level management of the organization. This is the definition. So the definition is just to understand. It is not you don't have to memorize anything, but it's just the definition. So it is a formal commitment by the top level management of the organization.